One of the most common questions I get on this channel is, Rob, why is my clothing brand not making any sales? Help me, clothing brand Jesus. I need some answers. And they just have absolutely no clue why their clothing brand isn't really able to get any sales right now. What I want to share with you in this video are the 6 most common reasons why your clothing brand isn't getting any sales. And of course, this comes from my own personal experience running my brand over the past 7 years and helping thousands of other brands online. So I really hope that this helps. Here it is. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Brand Crowd. If you struggle with designs for your clothing brand, I really recommend that you try them out. Brand Crowd's a logo maker tool. You type in the name of the logo that you want to have made, hit enter, thousands of logos will come up. You choose the logo that you like, then you can edit and refine that logo as long as you want for free until it's perfect. This is a Hundo P design I made for my own clothing brand using Brand Crowd. If you're interested, head over to brandcrowd.com/apparel success and you can get up to 66% off at checkout. All right, so if you're new here and you scroll through my channel, you'll see that there's 7 years worth of content on this channel, all talking about clothing brand growth, how to grow a clothing brand, how to start up a clothing brand, every little nuance of your clothing brand journey. There's probably been a video made on it. And this is by far the most common question that I get on the channel. People really want to know, obviously, how to make more sales for their brand. What is the bottleneck? Why is my clothing brand not able to make sales while all these other brands are? So let's jump into it. And while I'm going through these, what I want you to do is constantly ask yourself, does my clothing brand suffer from these symptoms that Rob is talking about right now on YouTube, this weird dude who's just coming at me here? All right. So the first symptom, the first issue with a clothing brand, the first reason why you're not making any sales is simply just the time horizon. How long have you been doing this for? Have you been doing this for 6 months? Have you been doing this for a year? And I don't just mean, has your clothing brand been around for a year? What I mean is, have you really been putting in a strong effort to market your brand for a straight year or for a straight 6 months? Because even brands that are really sweet from the very beginning, they look really good, they've got amazing designs, it still takes those brands a lot of effort, like 6 months to a year, to really get off the ground and to really start getting noticed. And so a lot of times people will give up after 3 months or after 4 months, and they just haven't been able to see their efforts rewarded yet. They haven't been able to see their actions come to fruition and be rewarded for their actions on social media. So when it comes to marketing your brand, you have to be patient enough to recognize that this isn't something that happens overnight. You can't grow your brand all in one day. It'll take multiple weeks, multiple months, and sometimes multiple years to grow up your clothing brand and to start gaining any traction for your brand. So maybe your clothing brand is suffering from just simply not being patient enough and not putting in enough effort consistently over a long enough time horizon that you'll actually see your efforts being rewarded. I remember for my brand, in the first 6 months, we weren't making very many sales at all. And me and my partner were chilling at our condo and we had to have a talk like, maybe we should stop this. Maybe our brand just simply isn't good enough. Maybe we should give up. Clearly there's something about our brand that people just don't want. And we were just way too short-sighted. And we were really, really close to giving up. And I think in our first year, we only did about $10,000 worth of sales. But we just kept going with it. We were like, you know what? Let's drop some more products. Let's try and shake things up. Let's change this. Let's make some adjustments here. And then in our second year, we went from $10,000 to like $80,000 worth of sales. And then the year after that, well over $100,000. And it just kept growing because we kept getting better as entrepreneurs. The nature of this is that the performance kind of happens slowly. It happens over time, and you have to learn this over time, and there's only so much that you can learn in one night or 1 week. Okay, so let's get into the technical reasons now why your clothing brand isn't making sales. Sure, let's say that you're being patient enough. Why, as my clothing brand stands right now, technically, is my brand not able to make sales right now? The second reason why your brand isn't able to make sales, the second most common reason, is that a lot of brands just simply don't have enough clout, they don't have enough credibility, and they don't have enough social proof yet. So when people come across your brand, just because they've never heard of it, It seems like nobody else has ever really heard of it. You don't have a lot of followers. You don't have, customers wearing your stuff. There's nothing that you can Google about your brand yet. And it's just kind of like, oh, who is this company? Why should I trust this brand? It just seems so foreign to them. And so maybe this is an issue with your own brand right now. Maybe you don't have very many followers on social media, and it's kind of making your brand look beginnerish. Like it's making your brand look like you just started up and that you don't really have very many customers. And this actually hurts your brand way more than a lot of people really realize. People don't really need clothing anymore because there's so many different brands out there. And so people aren't buying clothing out of necessity. They're buying it as an accessory. And one of the best ways to increase the value of your brand and just make it so much more appealing is to have social proof, to have a big following on social media, to have people already wearing it. It just helps build so much trust around your brand. So if you haven't established this yet for your own clothing brand, it's really worth it to start right now working on building up your social media following. This means being really consistent on social media and offering value content. And it's also worth it to reach out to celebrities and influencers and offer them free clothing. And reach out to all the celebrities and influencers that would align with your clothing brand's concept. Offer them free clothing in the hopes that you get a picture of them wearing it. Then you can share that picture on your social media, share that picture on your website, and it'll give your brand a massive increase in value and perceived value, and that will really help you with sales. I know this because I've done it dozens of times within my own clothing brand, and it's helped me tremendously gain any sort of status within my niche and start making sales. The third reason why your clothing brand isn't making sales right now is because maybe your clothing brand's concept just isn't really good right now. And I know that that's one you might hear and just go like, ugh, like that's the core of my brand. That's so fundamental to my brand. Please don't make that be the issue for my brand. But I'll tell you from personal experience, when I started up my brand, we had to change our concept multiple times. And I don't mean drastically, like my brand before was all about being Canadian and then we switched to, a basketball brand. It's nothing that drastic, but little tweaks to your wording, little tweaks to get more and more precise into specifically what your clothing brand is about and who it's for can make a drastic change to your results. Like for my brand, our brand concept when we first started was, and I'll never forget this because it's so embarrassing, it was representing the raw attitude of authentic Canadians. Yeah, it's so jumbled you can't even really understand it. But we switched it from representing the raw attitude of authentic Canadians to representing rural Canada, because that's more what our brand was actually going for to begin with. And when we switched that, people were like, oh, that makes sense. That's actually sick. I like that. Representing rural Canada. I'm in. Look into the wording of your brand. Look into the wording of your brand concept and your brand statement, which you should have somewhere at the top of your website so that people, when they come to your website, they know immediately what your brand's about without any confusion. And making it so that there's no confusion. People understand your brand right away. Almost like when you meet somebody, you can kind of understand the type of person that they are and their identity right away, and it helps you sort of build trust and get to know them. It's the same thing with your brand. People need to understand what your brand is all about, and having that very clear and having it one where people are able to really connect with it will really help you make sales. The fourth reason your clothing brand isn't making sales right now is maybe your website isn't very good. And I've talked about this so many times on this channel, but your website's fundamental to your credibility as a brand. So on top of social proof and having a big following and maybe getting big celebrities and influencers to support your brand, your website is right up there. Your website quality, when people check out your website, is going to be a huge determining factor of how people are perceiving your brand. Is this brand legit? Is this brand good or not? Do I trust this brand? And all the little details being taken care of on your website is going to be the determining factor of whether or not somebody will trust your brand, like your brand, want to buy from your brand, or just say, this brand's amateur, they don't really know what they're doing, why would I ever trust this brand? I'm out of here. And I think of a lot of brands that I've worked with that I've done brand reviews for, I check out their website, I think that they've got a great concept, they've got cool products, but there's spelling mistakes on their website, and there's things that just look awful on their website, and it just completely just ruins your whole experience of their brand. So just make sure that you're looking at your website with open eyes, you're being honest, and you're judging your website harshly for any errors, for anything that would really throw off your customers and ruin their experience shopping for your brand. The fifth reason your brand might not be making sales is maybe your designs aren't very good. maybe you have a great concept, maybe you have a great marketing strategy on social media, but your brand's designs just aren't connecting. They're not visually appealing. They're not something that your audience wants. And there's a couple of solutions to this. Obviously, the sponsor of this channel, Brand Crowd and Design Crowd, you can use those if you're not a designer yourself. But what I also recommend is Fiverr. Fiverr's pretty good for getting really professional designs made for your brand and just increasing the actual aesthetic value of your brand. Because I know that for me, running my brand, I'm more interested in the psychology, the marketing, the social media. I'm not a designer myself. I've designed a few of the designs for my brand, but I'm not like the guy who's a designer and who's really confident in that. And so I really prefer getting a professional designer to do the designs for my brand, and that'll help you like crazy make sales for your brand. The sixth reason why your clothing brand isn't making any sales is maybe your clothing brand has bad marketing. Like, I've seen this so many times in the brand reviews I do. Clothing brands that have sick designs, a really cool concept, and a really great website, but they just haven't driven enough traffic to their website. They've only posted on social media like 15 times in the past 3 months, and they're just not putting their brand out there enough. And so this is one of those industries, clothing, where if you're not constantly in front of your audience, then people will kind of just stop ordering and stop following you. Like, you really have to be keeping up with it. And it's just because there's so much competition out there. And so being in front of your audience really frequently is going to help you like crazy when it comes to making sales for your brand. So make sure that you're being really consistent on social media. You try running some ads. You really put in an effort to go all in and get this brand out there, because if you don't, people aren't just going to find you on their own. You really have to take that into your own hands and get it out there. I spent a full month recording a 100% free clothing brand course for anybody starting up a clothing brand right now. All you have to do to get access is go to freeclothingcourse.com, and you can go through it at your own pace. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.